Hi, within this lecture, we're going to design our first app. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this button and I'm going to delete this text view as well because we're going to start from scratch. So we're going to build an app in which we will display an image and we will have a button, and when user clicks on that button, the image will change. So basically we will need two images in order to do that, and an image view, that is a view to contain images, and a button. Okay, so when a user taps on that button, the image will change dynamically. So that's what we're going to do. So in order to do that, I'm going to drag in some of the views from here, and as you can see, there are a lot of views, there are a lot of segments over here, like buttons, text, common, and you can search for views from here like that, image, for example, and we're looking for an image view. So this is one of the most popular views that we're going to use during this course, and this will contain some images. So when you first drag and drop the image view into your layout, it will ask you what kind of image do you want to choose, like this. Okay, and as you can see, there are some pre-built images like this one, but obviously we don't want that. We want to use an image of our own. So let me bring in a button and then we will find some images to use inside of this application. So basically what we want to do is to click on this button and change the image view. So let me go to google.com so that we can find a good image for ourselves. So I'm gonna go for Metallica, which is my favorite band. So you can do it for your own favorite band as well. So I'm going to download two images of Metallica. So one thing you should look out for is that you have to find a small image. Like, you don't want to go for 2 megabytes, 3 megabytes of images. Like a 400 kilobytes or 500 kilobytes is okay. So Android Studio actually doing a very bad job dealing with big images. Okay, so you have to do additional things in order to make work with big images. So I believe this is cool. I'm going to download this, and of course after downloading your image you can check for the size, and I believe this isn't completely downloaded. So let me go to that website. Yeah, it opened Facebook. So let me find another one like this. Okay, yep, this is cool. So let me try and download this and say downloads. Let's see if we manage to download this. Yep, here you go. And I believe this is small as possible, so let me rename this, or let me do the info first. Yeah, this is 100 kilobyte. As you can see, it's very small, and this is what we need. After you download your image, just right click on that one and say get info on Mac or properties on Windows, and look out for your image size. So let me just find another one, another small one as well, like maybe this one or that one. It really doesn't matter what I choose, but I'm trying to find a good looking image with a small size. So let me download this one as well, and let me get this. Here we go. So let me see the info of this as well. Yep, this is 200 kilobytes, so this is small as well. So up to the 1 megabyte is okay, but after 1 megabyte, Android Studio starts to get weird on you. So make sure you name it. Make sure you just find a small one, and make sure you name it right, like this Metallica.jpg or Metallica2.jpg. You shouldn't use like big capitals or uppercase letters or special characters or spaces in your image names. Just something like image1, image2 is okay. And you can copy it by Control C and go into your drawable folder over here and hit Control V. So it will just show you two selections. Make sure you select the drawable, not drawable 24, and it will put your image inside of your drawable folder. So this is where we store images or any other media like that. Remember, you don't use any uppercase letters or something like that. Later on, you can go to your image view, and on the right hand side, as you can see, we see the properties of that image. So find the source compat and choose one of the pictures that you have just downloaded and say OK. And here you go. Now we see the image inside of our app. Make sure you resize it like this in a way that you want, okay? And that's it. Here you go. Now we see the image. We see all the attributes of that image from here. For example, we have this width and the height of the image view. We can actually change it from the right hand side like this. You can write something like 250 dps and 250 dps over here. dp stands for dense to pixel, and so it's like pixel. It's very similar to pixel, but it can be adjusted for different screen sizes. So make sure you choose dps like this, 300 dps, 300 dps. So if you want to use pixel, it's fine too. You can just write 300 px, but we're gonna go for dp. So if you click on this button, you can see all the attributes, all the properties, all the options of the image view over here, but we don't need anything else. Okay, we have changed the source compat, but we have made the thing right. So right now I'm gonna go for button attributes. So you can change the text from here like this, change, for example, because it will change the text when we click it, right? So let me make this a little bit bigger and let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see it better. Here you go. So I believe it's looking nice, right? And when you click on this, it will change. So I believe we're done over here. So one last thing to do before we go is to give some constraints. So as you can see, we're getting some errors, and that is the reason why we got a button over the left hand side when we first run this on emulator. So you have to click on this button in order to make some constraints. So constraints define where our views will be located on the layout. So if you don't give some constraints, then it will appear on the left hand side of the emulator. So that's what we're going to do over here. We're gonna click it. As you can see, we already did actually. We're gonna run it on the emulator, and you will see they will appear on exactly where we have put them on the screen like this. Here you go. Now we have a working app. Of course, we haven't written any code yet, so when we click on this, nothing happens. That's what we're gonna do in the next lecture.